of object arranging. And we're also going to do a little demonstration of what we mean by the space, form, and energy principle, or if you like, you can say heaven, earth, and human, if you'd like, if that helps. But we're trying to tune into the felt sense of objects and into their relationship to one another, how they work with one another. So we're going to be doing this kind of arranging where one person places an object, and they'll always do the space first. Another person will come up and look at it and get the felt sense of the new square one. And then they will look at the objects and then choose something that they feel provides some grounding for it, that earths it in some way, but is the form part of the arrangement. And then the third person will then come in, view it before they go, and pick something from the energy principle, which is often something that draws our attention to it, whereas the space principle usually stops our mind often. The energy principle moves our mind or captures our attention or has some humor or energy or something that makes it kind of dance. Since I have my square here, I'm just going to take a look at this black square and come back to square one. Okay, so that's my space. Now, if we had 3 people here, I'd be stepping out and someone would be stepping in. But I'm now the second person, so I'm going to look at this, but I'm not just going to look at it here. I may feel the need to look at it from different directions, because sometimes the things that we create have an entrance point, a place that you enter it, viewing. This is not required, it's just how you feel about it. Okay. So the next thing is I'm feeling and thinking, felt sense, thought sense. Well, I got to find something to earth this. Even though this feels spacious, there's a bit of solidity to it, so I've got to find something that's got weight, some kind of weight. It has to feel heavy in relationship to this. So the next question is, where do I place them? Just like when you were making your, doing your calligraphy exercise, in some sense you're waiting for that space to call out to you where to be placed. So we're looking to see where it should be placed. And by moving these back and forth, I'm feeling that when I move this too far away, I'm beginning to realize it's becoming another element all by itself. Whereas when I keep it something like this, it still reads as one. Or if I would have had one too far out, I suddenly felt that's not right. Okay? Not that there's a right and a wrong. Now, the next thing is to take a peek at this. And it feels heavy enough, maybe not as heavy. Maybe it would have been better if I had 5 or 6 jacks, but that's what we got. I'm still checking to see if the entrance point seems to be in the same place. Doesn't seem to be there anymore. So now I have to find something that's more attractive and interesting and more energetic than what I see to make it kind of pop, but not so much so that it takes away from it. If I use this, we won't care about anything else that's here. Okay? It's too strong. There's too much going on, too much energy happening here. Okay? But I think the little ducky, if I can just find the right place for the duck. If I put it to the edge, it feels too important. Too important. If I come over here, it feels like it's maybe getting lost. So the question is, where does it go? Where does it go? Feels like it wants to be near the jacks. Somewhere near the jacks, but which way? how it feels best. So, I don't feel entirely satisfied, but I'm now doing the viewing process, which we're also going to engage in. And as a group, what we would do is we would look at this, and we would ask 3 questions. Does the space object still feel like space? Because what sometimes happens is it flips over because maybe you didn't have the object size or scale or whatever. And space is no longer space, but instead form. And then we would basically, at this point, have a brief discussion, and then the people who place the objects would then remove them. All we're really trying to do is to tune into our felt sense and see how our minds work. And then by articulating it, we discover our thought sense, and we see and understand and capture our experience in words and through communication. Okay, we're done. Since you're the last one that way, thank you.
Ladies, don't go shopping yet. You don't know what's happening. You're planning ahead. So come here and watch what's happening on the chunky body. No. Put it on there. Your point is we pass by our composition. Let's take a look at that, and then look at it and feel it from other places. What element are we expressing in? Don't be shy. Fire? What's this? Who feels fire?
I see fire.
Yeah?
Passion.
The color is so fiery.
Yeah? Yeah? It's very obvious from that point of view, right? So ladies, what was your work? It was fire. It was fire, all right.